her face. The mirror refugee. He 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 he. Yes, Spirit, hard to remember. I had this song when I woke up this morning, Never Ending Story. Do you know it? Do you know of the never ending story? I'm just gonna wait for more people to come in. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hello. I hope you're having an amazing Sunday. Uh, I hope everyone's doing well. Let me see. Let me read this. Spirit said hard to remember. 17, which where they died. Oh my gosh. We're doing a true crime today. Good morning, everybody. We're doing a true crime today. Good morning. Hello, welcome in. Thank you so much. Spirit said, bring it. I love you, Spirit. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Followed the live creator, didn't complete the Heart Me mission. I don't know what that means. I don't understand all that stuff. But hello. Hi there. Thanks for being here. My name is Patience. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning. My name is Patience. I'm your favorite spirit medium, host of Spirit News Podcast on all major platforms, which you can find through the bio, through the link tree. If you're interested in more segmented, more, what's the word? More topic-based podcast style, metaphysical information, you can go to our Spirit News podcast, Spirit News, where we bring you higher perspectives of linear views. I make that with Spirit, so all of the messages are channeled, and they are all guidance and knowledge and wisdom from my Spirit team. I didn't make any of it up. It's from my Spirit team. So if you're on a spiritual journey and you're looking for different ways to observe other people's alignment, that's where we've put all that stuff here on these platforms for TikTok and YouTube. We do spiritual development, we do psychic development, or really everybody's psychic. We're just learning how to read energy. Good morning, Ricardo, Bruce, Face Smasher. I just woke up with a chubby and needed some Jack material. Thank you for that, girl. That's wild. And it comes from Satan. Good morning, beautiful lady. I'm from San Diego, California, and I work at Southwest Airlines. Hello, Ricardo. Spirit says Southwest all the time. I don't know if that's you or I don't know. Can you queef for us? I can't. I don't know how to queef. I used to, but I can't do it anymore. Can I get a shout out? My name is Ashton Falcons, and I'm 14, and I have good news, guys. I just got out of the hospital. I beat cancer. Oh my gosh, good for you, baby. Good for you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, the throat shakalakas are back again. Throat shakalakas are back again. Get out of here, throat shakalaka. Someone's trying to bring down my throat chakra, but you can't stop God's messages. Get it through your head. You can't stop God's messages. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. We got a doozy today. We got a doozy, and I need to know. I need to know what happened. Why? How can it be prevented? How did we get here? Why did this have to happen? I need to know. We're going to cover today. We're going to get a higher perspective of a linear view of the tragic passing, the parenticide of Kristin and James Brock by the TikToker, the 17-year-old TikToker. What's her name? The heck was her name? Sarah Grace Patrick. Okay. Spirit said, where they died, hard to remember, bring it, incessant. So I want to know why this young lady, 17 years old, a TikToker, premeditated the killing of her parents. I want to know. And then went on to TikTok and continued to pretend as if she was so upset to get views. Are we really doing this to get views? We have to kill people? We have to kill our parents to get views? I don't know. That is wild. I need to know what was going on. I can't tap into Sarah Patrick's energy, Sarah Grace Patrick, but I can tap into the I am free. I can tap into the parents. Parents say they're free. So that's interesting. I want to know what was going on in that house. What led up to it? Was it purely just a teenager in their ego side? Like, if it's that dangerous, how can we prevent it? How can we identify it when it's showing up? How can we heal it? How can we transmute that type of behavior in our teenagers? I don't want this to get worse. I don't want TikTok to turn into, a place where we can't come for community. I've been having such a great time finding my peoples on here. I don't want it to be a place where it accidentally promotes, egoic behavior patterns that lead to violence. I don't want that. So I'd like to heal it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Here it's 6:14 a.m. I'm in Rhode Island. Travails. Oh my gosh, some people wake up and are so nasty. This song is sponsored by Shadow Government. What, the Never Ending Story? Well, let's read the lyrics because I did wake up hearing the Never Ending Story. So let's read the lyrics. I freaking love the Never Ending Story. Can I just tell you, where are my Never Ending Story people? People hella nasty nowadays. Yeah, it's okay. They let them troll. I'm doing very well. Thank you, Jade. Jade Dragon, I like your name. Thank you so much. Oh my god, thank you. Thank you very much, TDWL. Well, listen, I love the Never Ending Story. If you don't know about the Never Ending Story, it's a cult classic. Cult classic. Definitely grew me up. I used to watch that movie on repeat. That and The Three Ninjas and Bingo and The Dark Crystal, lots of Muppet movies, but The Neverending Story was definitely my top five, one of my top five. And this song, I woke up with this song in my head, and I have to admit that I don't actually know all the lyrics. So I'm excited to hear how they pertain to this true crime. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let me just give a little rundown of this story. So, James 45 and Kristin 41 Brock were a couple from Carrollton, Georgia, who were found shot to death in their home February 2025. Their 17-year-old daughter, Sarah Grace Patrick, has been arrested and charged with their murders. Discovery of the bodies. The Brocks were found in their bedroom on February 20th, 2025 by their 6-year-old daughter. That poor thing. Sarah Grace Patrick then called 911. Investigation. Authorities immediately ruled out murder-suicide and noted there was no sign of forced entry or items missing from the home, leading them to believe the perpetrator specifically wanted the couple dead. My nose is getting stuffy. Arrest. Sarah Grace Patrick turned herself into the police in July 2025 after a warrant was issued for her arrest. She was charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault and is being tried as an adult. The case gained significant media attention when it was revealed that in the months following the murder, Sarah Grace Patrick had allegedly contacted true crime influencers on TikTok, asking them to cover her parents' case. What? Wow. That's just shocking me. Shocking me. It's shocking me. No, I'm not getting sick, but when I channel, I do get a little stuffy because I have a lot of negative energy and positive energy that my body is transmuting or trying to filter. So I get a little stuffy when I channel. When I do the readings,
Nice.
your voice sounds like someone with a blocked nose. Well, I do have a blocked nose. My farts smell like beans. Smells kind of good, honestly. Ah, people say the wildest things. It's so funny. Oh my gosh, so funny. You look like someone. Me? You're cool. Thank you. You look like someone. Oh, thank you, Isaac. You're welcome. I had an anxiety attack that later that. Drink some warm water. You should take me to dinner. I'm a reader myself and a medium. Oh, that's awesome, Jade. I'm happy to have you. Welcome. Yes, I'm glad that you're here. I'm honoring my spiritual abilities of childhood. No queefing for the reading, okay? No queefing for the reading, okay? So back to it. James was reportedly awaiting a heart transplant and used an LVAD machine to keep his heart pumping. The couple were active members of their local church. The investigation is ongoing and more arrests are possible. Okay, so let's see. What evidence led to Sarah Patrick's arrest? Because we know she did it. Okay, but I want to know why. And if she's not going to tell us, if she's not going to be honest with herself, or even if, oh, thank you, Jade. I love your energy too. Thank you for sharing energy with me. If she's not going to, maybe she's too young to identify the emotional reason why she did it, but we're going to identify it because I don't I want to understand how I have children and eventually they're going to get social media at some point too. And social media is so new for the future or this generation and the things it's capable of inducing or producing or what it's capable of. And so there's going to be good and bad with that. And so this is definitely, something that social media produced that was negative. And I want to know why. And I want to help her heal. I want to help everyone heal in the situation. And I definitely want to help understand for everyone who has kids who will eventually be on social media. We need to know what we can do to make it safe, to make it fun, to not make it be so dark and destructive. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. How many decks do I have? Well, I have too many. Okay, I have too many. But we don't use decks. We don't use tarot here. Spirit has guided me to more game cards like Trivial Pursuit, the game of meme, win, lose, or draw, imagine if, brain games, and Spirit has guided me to use game cards more than tarot because people have this preconceived notion about tarot due to misinformation, and so it makes them more closed off or limited to the way the messages can be received. So Spirit wanted to show me, and I wanted to show you that everything is energy, and so Spirit can talk to you through anything. Tarot cards are just one way, one of like a million ways that was created by somebody who understood energy that wanted to bring a physical, symbolic messages that could be read, that could be communicated through the archetypes of the universe and through the patterns and the patterns of human behavior and stuff. So they get captured in the tarot. That's what tarot is. Now, people can abuse tarot based on who they are, just like people can abuse social media. So it's not social media that is destructive or the tarot cards, it's the person using them, wielding them. Like if someone's going to abuse the creation that was created, then yeah, there's going to be, dark things that come of that. But there's also good people who are responsible with that power and who don't abuse the gifts that were given to us by God to understand ourselves. Okay, so that had to be said for somebody. The mind is strong and powerful enough to make you feel good. Absolutely. Yeah. Damn, don't use a deck of bridge card, though. Those spirits will tell you the same thing over and over again. No, we don't use game cards. They have to have like words or pictures on them. What's your favorite movie? Horror. I used to really love horror movies. But then when I got on my spiritual path and I started to become more sensitive to energy, they almost became hard to watch. But I will say, I really enjoy Insidious. The astral projection thing really like resonates with me. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So, Kristin, James, thank you so much for being here. I'm so sorry for the way you crossed over. I would really love to help heal it, transmute it, redirect it, do something to help heal it. That's what I want to do. That's my ultimate goal. I want to understand it. Knowledge is power. So we're using this unique way to understand things that are unseen, things that are unknown, the truth. Let's bring it out. All right. Holy Divine Spirit, please be with me. I love you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of your love and support. Thank you to all my spirit guides, angels, ancestors, loved ones, beings of love and light. I am so grateful for all of your love and guidance, for all of your messages and your wisdom. I am truly, truly grateful. Thank you for all you do. I invite James and Kristin Brock into my energy field with Archangel Michael to help us understand from their perspective what happened here. And then I'd have the ultimate harbinger of doom. And that's what the young lady looks like. If you look at the thumbnail of the 17-year-old who committed parental on her parents, the harbinger of doom. Yeah, I guess she is. So I'm getting that there's something about her that could be imbalanced, something about her that is a little, off base. Okay. Something about her could be unstable. She's in some kind of energy of instability. Clearly, don't need a card to tell me that. Okay, what else? What else, James? This energy, you know, it feels like the masculine, the James man, it could be like, like tells a lot of dad jokes, very like serious, but when he tells a joke, it's like a dad joke, trying to be funny. That's what it kind of feels like. The mom feels a little, I don't want to say subservient, but that sounds, like that's not the right word I want to use. Life goals. She seems like, maybe she let the man wear the pants more, or, was, I don't know. I don't want to say subservient. What's another word for subservient? Let me see. Because that doesn't feel right either. What's another word for subservient?
Here are some synonyms for subservient: submissive, deferential,
Submissive, compliant, accommodating. That's a better word. Accommodating, docile, dutiful, like obedient, maybe they have faith, or, she believes in the Bible's idea of what a wife should be, like, you know, I'm not, okay, thank you, Spirit. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just giving you the energy that, they may have been in at the time. Okay. So So this life goals of their daughter, and James is the stepfather, by the way. He's not the real father. Life goals of the father. So definitely some disconnection. There's some kind of predatory behavior here that obviously she chose to try to life goals with a hashtag to try to amplify her reach in her TikTok audience. You know? No, those words seem so harsh. I know, I'm sorry. I don't want to seem harsh. I think docile or dutiful could be like the best words. This just fell on the floor. I am on fire with knowledge. Oh geez, I am on fire with knowledge. I am on fire with knowledge. It's got a lotion bottle, a hair comb, and a towel. So this idea really seemed, I don't know, she was really convinced about this idea. Even though this idea was, or she was, I don't know if this is soap or lotion, but looks like soap now that I'm looking at it, with a hairbrush and a towel. Something she thought that was such a good idea that she wouldn't leave a mess about. She was convinced. Why was she so convinced? That's what she said. Why was she so convinced? Kind of looks like the stepfather, quite honestly. Something about the stepfather convinced her to do this or something. Something about the stepfather, that's what she said. Didn't I say that he feels like he makes dad jokes? She could have had some kind of feelings about the stepfather, maybe. Oh my gosh, let me read the never ending story lyrics. I think that may turn around, look at what you see in her face, the mirror of your dreams. Make believe I'm everywhere, hidden in the lines. Written on the pages is the answer to a never ending story. Reach the stars, fly a fantasy, dream a dream, and what you see will be. Rhymes that keep their secrets will unfold behind the clouds. And there upon the rainbow is the answer to a never ending story. Show no fear, for she may fade away. In your hands, the birth of a new day. Rhymes that keep their secrets will unfold behind the clouds. And there upon the rainbow is the answer to a never ending story. Interesting. Rhymes that keep their secrets will unfold behind the clouds. Fly a fantasy, dream a dream, reach the stars. A never ending story. The mirror of your dreams in her face. Look at what you see. So something about something hidden. She could have asked her stepdad, or she could have talked a lot about her TikTok. It could have been something that was very annoying, something that he made fun of, something that he poked fun at because it was all she would talk about, and he didn't know how to relate to it. So he would poke fun at it thinking, it's just a teenager thing. It's nothing, to be, I don't know. It just seems like he didn't take it seriously, but she did. And so she thought she was on fire. Like, I don't know. There could be something about, she could have blown up a little with certain things that, or gone viral, or she was trying to go viral. And every time she would bring it up or talk about her following or whatever, to the stepdad, he would like make fun of it, because he's just like an old guy. He doesn't know about TikTok. That's what she said. Like just playing around with her. That could have played on her emotions somehow. That could have invalidated her. That could have invalidated her. So she could have started to come up with some kind of plan. She could have started to marinate on what's on some kind of secret hidden plan. And when I don't know, let me see. Before I speak on it, can you please clarify? I'm not sure I understand. We'll do the stare cards. Okay, we'll see what comes out. Spirit, please clarify this man. Is this you, James? He could have poked fun on her, not to make her upset, but just because, he doesn't do that, so he doesn't understand it. He could have been very dominating. He could have had a very like dominating personality. Possibly someone who, I don't know, I just keep getting like making fun of. This also could be the girl, because they were found in bed. This could be the girl. Yeah, she could have been upset. She could have not liked the stepfather. There's something about having conflict all the time with the stepfather, having an unstable relationship with him, like not getting along. It could have always made her want to like leave or wish she could leave. That could have been some kind of foundation for these thoughts about what she could do. What can I do to be on my own? I'm 17 and I don't, I have here predatory life goals. So she definitely wants to like be on her own, but she wants to be on her own so badly because something with the stepfather that she was willing to make predatory choices to leave the house or to show him, something like that. I'm on fire with knowledge. Can you clarify this? I'm on fire with knowledge. Yeah, she definitely wanted to get the likes, get a lot of likes. She wanted to manufacture likes. She wanted everyone to... She thought she had some way out through her social media. She was looking for a way out of her house through social media. Can you tell me more about the relationship between the stepfather and the mother? What was the relationship like between you guys? I just keep coming up with great ideas. And I'm on fire with knowledge. Yeah, someone who's very lazy. They could have gotten on her case a lot about, being lazy, like kind of like tough love. Well, you're not going to get anywhere on TikTok. You're not going to do, you're not going to make it on TikTok. TikTok's not a job. Because what they see is that she's lazy. She doesn't help clean the house. She doesn't help, do the chores. She stays on the couch and sits on her phone all day, kind of thing. Give me one more. No? Okay. All right. Tell me what the emotions were like. Hey, Mr. Brad Boy. Oh, thank you.
Baby items.
Baby items. Magic. Magic in reverse and caution? Magic in reverse and caution in reverse. I'm on fire with knowledge. Oh my gosh. Something about a mirror in the bathroom. And then the mirror of your dreams. In her face, the mirror of your dreams. Magic caution. Something about her thoughts. Magic can also refer to your thoughts because thoughts turn to things. And depending on your ability to control the flow of your thoughts, you can have good things happen or you can have bad things happen. It's like it's like depending on what you feed. If you feed the intrusive thoughts and you allow them to grow, then that's what you'll experience in your reality. But it's in reverse. So some kind of negative thoughts. And something about the mirror, I'm getting, it says in her face, the mirror of your dreams. Something about looking in the mirror and imagining how her life would be for through TikTok or something. I don't know. Please clarify. Something with the mirror. You guys don't be staring into mirrors, okay? Don't be staring into mirrors, think and doing the whole mirror thing, because mirrors are portals.
Kendra.
Mirrors are portals. If you don't, disruption of growth. Yeah, there's something here that is something about a mirror or her thoughts. Her thought, she didn't listen to the caution of her conscience, something that disrupted her growth as a 17-year-old. It could be the need for validation because she wasn't receiving validation at home, but she wasn't doing anything to be validated. So it's like, I think the parents are admitting that, because of the age difference and the difference in the culture of both parents and teenager, it can sometimes be disconnected, and allowing your children to be on social media or have a phone at this time can disrupt growth. It can definitely play on
Somewhere that feels familiar.
somewhere that feels familiar. Yeah, and I had comfort just a second ago. It can definitely play on the teenager's development. If you're allowing your kids to go on their phones and go on social media and they're not being validated at home, they're going to seek validation somewhere else. I mean, even adults do that. But when you're a teenager, you're not developed. So there was some kind of disruption in that dynamic where she has no validation at home. She has a parents that don't understand her goals, and so they kind of put her down because they don't understand how that can be a goal. And so
Hovering messages
and
from
so
mom.
she feels the need to show them, I'm going to show you, you think I can't make it. It makes her angry. It makes her want to leave home all the time. She feels like she's not supported. But through the parents' eyes, she's lazy. She wants an easy way out. Okay? She wants an easy way out. She thinks TikTok is going to be her bread and butter to fame and fortune, but not for the right
Stop
reasons.
what you were doing.
But not for the right reasons. Yeah. Her parents, Spirit said, stop what you're doing. So her parents could have been like, on her butt. You need to go to school. You need to get an education. That's how you're going to make it. Forget all this social media stuff, you know? Hey, do you like Panda Express or Chipotle better? I don't like either of those places. Rejection. I cannot make it up. Yeah. And faith. That's one thing. They were churchgoers, but I will say one thing that's common about people who go to church is that they will judge other people for doing things that don't like rely on the foundation of church. Like their daughter could have not been so much into the church and into this more modern era of like social media, and maybe it was misplaced, maybe it should have been redirected, but it definitely shouldn't have been rejected. It definitely shouldn't have been shot down. There's definitely a better way to address the the
career.
career. Thank you, Spirit. The career that the teenager was choosing. And I think the parents now are seeing that, through their faith, a lot of people who have faith are so like limited in the way that you can receive blessings or receive success, that and they project that onto people. And I'm not saying that it was right for her to take this action, but it's definitely showing us, where this like came from, where it like built up to that. And we'll get closer to like understanding how it like got to that point, but it was definitely a rejection wound, not being validated in her choices, always having them
Appointment.
pound on her, an appointment, yes, and not spending time with her. There's something about the mom choosing, men over her children kind of thing. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. You definitely, if you have a new relationship, your teenage kids
On the bed.
can often view that as you choosing a man over me, but it's like two different kinds of love. And when the children's love is automatic, but when you have a new, this is a stepfather, so it's a new love, so the mother has to nurture and develop the relationship with the stepfather more than the daughter. So there could be something about that, not having the parents' validation or the mother's validation, or not having constructive time together for, emotional processing, and just like inquiring, like, what's going on with you? How's it going? Something like that. So, when I was young, my mom was going through her own stuff, and so she didn't have the capacity to have a deep relationship with me because she was so depressed and stuff. So at the time, as a teenager, I didn't know about depression and stuff. So I viewed it as her just not wanting to be with me or to spend time with me or to ask or to be interested in anything I'm doing. And so it really like affected me. She wouldn't ground me. She wouldn't like nothing. Like, she didn't tell me about sex. She didn't tell me about my period. She didn't teach me how to brush my teeth. Like, and back then I used to be so mad at her because I was like, she must not care about me. She must not want, I don't know. I couldn't understand it. So it kind of feels like the same thing, but at the same time, the lack of interest in what she's doing, but yet you're going to tell her how to live her life. Like, it's like kind of contradictory. Like, don't tell me how to live my life or what's good for me when you don't even care what I do every day. It kind of feels like that. But when I respond, gotcha, it's sarcasm. The cause, I actually gotcha, and with ya, patience is cool. You're reading Young Lady right now, but I'm 30, and besides, the age is almost on point. Well, I'm reading Kristin and James Brock. They're crossed over. I'm trying to understand their teenager that unalive them,
13.
to understand what happened. Spirit said 13 and 17. So there's definitely something about, when you are neglectful and you're not mindful of where your attention is going, it has to be balanced. Yeah, if you're going to be in a new relationship, I understand that that's hard, and you don't want to make your lover feel like, you don't want, it's weird because like you don't want your lover to feel like you're choosing the kids over them, and you don't want the kids to feel like you're choosing the lover over the kids. So it's definitely something that, if that's happening, you should sit down and communicate that to each other. We're all in, some, I don't know how it would go, but I would start like being mindful of that. So it's definitely something that affected Sarah. But and she's not motivated to do anything else because she's 17 and her parents don't influence her in a positive way to look at what her gifts are or her talents are, and they don't pay attention to her, so she's on her phone all the time. So I get it. I get it. What else? What else, Spirit? What else can you tell us about this? I have the only key. We'll do a mind trap. Okay. I have the only key to the room containing the jewelry of my late Aunt Maggie, stated Sid Shady. Since her death a week ago, neither I nor anybody else has entered this room. I was quite pleased to hear her will requested that all her jewelry was to be sold and the proceeds go to charity, continued Shady. Shadow removed a huge plant whose broad leaves were turned toward the wall, partially covering the safe. While Shady was working the
Following.
while Shady was while Shady was working the combination lock, Shadow closed the room to sit on the ledge of the large bay window. Oh my god, and Spirit said window. Shady opened the safe and removed the bag of jewels. I'm sure these jewels will fetch a fortune for charity, said a smiling Sid Shady. I'll bet these jewels are either fake or there's a few missing, replied Shadow. What aroused Shadow's suspicion? Shady, who had the only key, said that neither he nor anyone else had been in the room for the past week. If this was true, the leaves of the plant would have been leaning toward the window instead of the wall.
Talk.
So she was convinced that it was the only way it was to get the key to some kind of fortune. She convinced herself that it was the only way that she could go forward. She may have gotten advice from someone online that she talks to, someone who's older but may come across as younger, like someone who, like a catfish kind of, someone who she thinks is like the same age as her, but really they're older. She could have asked advice about how she can, I don't know, she could have something about her talking to somebody about her parents and her TikTok. Somebody who is shady. Somebody who's in their shadow. Somebody who's fake. Someone who pretends to be older but or they're real, or who pretends to be younger but they're really older. That's interesting. Somebody who made it seem like the proceeds go to charity, like she would get charity for doing this. I don't know if there was someone she was talking to online that made her feel like this was an option for her. Kind of like like brainwashing, kind of. I don't know what they talked about, but whatever it was, she just wasn't old enough to have clarity about, or discernment.
Place.
An old place. I told you she didn't have the discernment to know if this person was, truthful. She just trusted somebody online she made friends with. Someone who has a fake profile. Huh. What would they talk about? Let me see. What would they talk about? What's your favorite season? What was your first job? Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts? Yeah, this is someone who pretended to be her friend. I don't know if they've released the her conversations yet, but there's definitely someone she was talking to that may have, broken the ice about this idea because she was upset and she didn't have anyone to talk to. She has like online friends, she's somebody who has a lot of online friends. Yep, thanks for understanding, patience. I mean, nothing personal by gotchas. You can say at any time I explain something, let me know you're with me as well. Gotcha. It reminds me of that song from the Jetsons. Gotcha, living on the track. Can't believe you're home with a feeling like that. Gotcha. Da-da-da-da-da. Something like that. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Oh, so funny. Tell me more, Spirit. What in the world? So the parents are definitely understanding now from a higher perspective that they may have been a little hard on her. They may have been. I'm not saying it's their fault. It's definitely not their fault, but I am saying that they did play a part in the disruption of development, of healthy development, brain development, okay? Of healthy habits, of healthy ways to find success within. They were a little neglectful. Honestly, that's what they're saying. So it kind of led her to need to find validation outside of her parents because her parents were not giving her that. And so she went to the only other place she had, which was TikTok. TikTok, people will validate you and your own parents, it's like Yeshua. Yeshua couldn't heal anybody in his hometown because nobody could believe that he could do that. He had the only people he could heal was outside of the place he grew up in because nobody, you know, validated him. Nobody believed in him. Nobody thought he could do it. So it's kind of like that. Mirroring. I told you something about a mirror. Something about a mirror. Reflection. The person online may have said, gained her trust by, I don't know, getting to know her, actually caring or pretending to care about how she feels. And, her parents weren't doing that. Her parents weren't asking her, what are you doing today? And what do you want to be when you grow up? And why do you want to be an influencer? You can be an influencer, but it has to be healthy. You can't be an influencer just to get the validation of the likes and the comments. Spirit always says, make art, not content. And you'll attract the people that need your influence. But if you have nothing to influence, if you're not creating anything that's worthwhile and you're just trying to find things that people will give you attention for, do you want attention or do you want to be of service? Those are the things that we're going to have to ask ourselves going forward if influencing is going to be, content creators are going to be the next influencers. Oh my gosh, Mr. Bradboy, you're obsessed. You're obsessed with gotcha. I hate motherfuckers that always say gotcha. It's his thing, Mark. It's his thing. Let him do his thing. I don't understand. Be of service. Absolutely.
Rituals caused it.
Rituals caused it. Stop it, Spirit. Now,
Nicole.
Nicole. Spirit said Nicole. Yeah, I have soulmates, deep love, unity, connection. Yeah. You guys, if you have kids and you get a new lover, you have to you have to be mindful, even if you're in love and it's beautiful and it's a soulmate connection. You have to be mindful of your children and the way they're perceiving your attention going to them and not you. You have to talk about that. You have to talk about that because your your child is going to view that as a rejection. Well, they must care about them more than me. Obviously, they don't care enough about me anymore. I'm nothing now. That can be such a deep wound for a kid. Okay? You have to be mindful of that. That's what's going on here. The mother found a new lover that's not the father, that doesn't completely understand this 17-year-old, and but yet the mother is always obedient to the father. That's how the teenager's viewing this. You always choose his side. You're always with him. You're never with me. And so the mother, admits that she may have gotten lost in that.
Clearly.
Clearly, yeah, she may have gotten lost in that because it was exciting. It was good times. She was found somebody who loves her. So I get it. That's a beautiful feeling. But at the same time, you can't ignore the development and the growth of your young children. You can't. I don't have mascara on, Dallas. I don't have mascara on. I come on here barefaced. Well, I wear lipstick because I gotta have a little something. But I come in here just as I am, the way God made me. Triggers. Yes, it triggered her. Absolutely. It triggered the 17-year-old. Here she is. She doesn't have her real father. She has this stepfather who always triggers her inner child wounds of rejection. He's always like, poking fun at her with his dad jokes, never taking her seriously. He and her mom is not paying attention to her, not asking her, not directing her, not pouring into her, not pouring into her. And so she had to find a place where she could pour into herself, but it wasn't healthy. Anchor, hold it together, getting a grip, heaviness, chained up. Yeah. She wanted to leave the house, but she didn't know how. She's 17, so she anchored into TikTok being away, and that's the magic. That's the, so it said rituals caused it. And I want you guys to understand that when it comes to energy and magic, the ritual can be your thoughts. If you're always thinking, how can I leave this house? How can I leave these people? What can I do? And you're looking in the mirror and you're asking yourself and you're telling yourself how much you hate it here and blah, blah, blah. Those are ritualistic thoughts that lead to your experience. So imagine thinking something so much and then something so negative so much, and then boom, you get into a car accident, or boom, you go bankrupt, or whatever the the obstacle
The wounded area.
the obstacle becomes because of your thoughts. That's magic. Okay, we are contacting you regarding guideline breaches. You have 20 minutes to reply with your justification. Type 1 to find out more. If you cannot type 1, please end this live immediately and add an apology post to your community page. What? How do I type? What did I do? Failure to take action will result in channel strike. What? What did I do? How do I... Is this real? I don't understand. Is that real? I know I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know if that's a real moderator, but you didn't do anything. I know. It's fake. Okay, thank you, Cody. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Oh, I was gonna be so sad. This is definitely an important message. Hello, patience with spirit. I'm starting to talk English. Please suggest how I can tips apply in Learn English communication. Practice. You gotta practice. You have the right to appeal. End this immediately and check your mail. I don't know. I'm not scared. Yeah, so there's definitely something about um her locking into some idea that because of triggers from her parents, she wanted to show them magnifying glass, proof, validation. I cannot make it up. Confirmation. She wanted to prove to them that she could absolutely make it as a content creator. But she was being a clown. She's non-committal though, you know? She doesn't want to work hard at it. She doesn't want to post every day. She doesn't know what she should post, so she's trying to find a shortcut. She's trying to find a shortcut because she's depleted and drained. She's exhausted because her thoughts
The darkness.
because her thoughts do not match her goals, okay? You didn't see that in your cards, did you, scammer? Okay, YouTube. Clearly you have problems. I'm gonna get you out of here. Oh my gosh. Spirit said speak of the darkness. So when you're constantly have when you're in an environment that doesn't lift you up, that doesn't make you feel good emotionally, when that doesn't validate you, it's not because it's not because you aren't validated. You have to learn how to validate yourself. You have to learn that you're never going to receive validation outside of yourself. And if you are expecting people to make you feel good or make you feel whole, then you're going to always be searching outside of yourself to feel that. And your thoughts have to match how you want it to be. Your thoughts are electromagnetic. You are electromagnetic. Your soul is electromagnetic, and it comes into a dense physical body to have a human experience, to see how long it takes to remember who you really are. And once you understand that every experience is valuable, you start to change your perspective and see that, the challenges I had from my mother when I was younger, at the time, made me feel bad about myself. But over time, I started to realize that I didn't need her to feel good. I didn't need her to validate me to live my life, to have value, to see my value, to offer something of value, to be of service. And so I didn't need her permission to do that. I didn't need her to tell me it was okay to do that or that she was proud of me to do that. No, I followed what made me feel good emotionally, and when I started to do that and I started to follow that, I realized that I don't need anybody to make myself feel valuable. And so but when you're a teenager, you have your parents there to help guide you in that direction, to help you see that. But if they're not even, if all they do is punish you and put you down because you aren't doing what they think you should do, but yet they're not asking you how you're doing or even contributing to your development, that is stunting. And your teenager or your children are going to go out and they're going to find a place that values them, or that even if it's a fake value. And so that's what happened here. And they degrade her and they humiliate her and they shame her. And that's exhausting because that's the input that she's getting every day. And so she's trying so desperately to find a way out of that environment that she starts, inputting people, whoever's online, whoever she's talking to online. She starts allowing those people in, even though they're not who they say they are. But she's 17 years old. How is she supposed to know who they are? She has no discernment. She has no life experience. She's completely one-sided in the way she's perceiving the rejection and the neglect from her parents. Okay, because she is lazy. Okay, that's something that's true. She is very lazy. And she doesn't want to work hard. If you want to create content, then you have to have something to create. You have to have something to create. you can't just make things up and control the way that you can create something and get attention that way. That's not what social media is for. Social media should be a place where we can all come and share our experiences and support each other in genuinely, not fake profiles like the fake YouTube moderator trying to get me to shut my thing down. Why would you want to do that? Do you realize that by doing that you've literally created an effect, a cause and effect? You're literally going to get something that matches the energy that you were just giving out. So that's what it's about. That's why we're so passionate about teaching you guys about energy, because your energy matters first and foremost, and if you pay attention to it, that's what you can control. I appreciate patience. I can tell you are real. Oh, thank you so much. That dude saying he hates people who say gotcha. He wouldn't like this ASMR channel. This girl does gum chewing in every live stream. What are the health benefits of lighting meth? No, there's no health benefits. And you makes yourself a portal for low energy. Uh, curse. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. There may have been some kind of generational curse of a negative mind. Thank you, Spirit. Of a negative mindset. Remember, your thoughts turn to things, you guys. Your thoughts are electromagnetic. So if this teenager is looking in the mirror every day saying, I'm going to show you, no, I don't care what it takes, I'm going to do it. And your thoughts are going to bring to you an opportunity that's going to match that energy of being in your ego, of wanting to show people who you are instead of just being who you are. And so she got an opportunity or an idea or an intrusive thought, or she was susceptible to an intrusive thought that cursed her or that caused a curse for her bloodline of negative thoughts. Okay? That's how witchcraft works. That's how magic works. You can do all the rituals you want, but you don't even have to do a ritual. You can just be a negative person. You can just have negative thoughts all the time and not ever change your negative thoughts, You're high as hell and lonely, aren't you? Well, I think that if you're saying that to me, then that must be you. If you took the time to say that, then that must be you. So I'm sorry that you can't stop getting high, and I'm sorry that you're lonely. I'm sorry. I hope that you overcome that. I'm happy to show that for you. Yeah. She put a curse on her bloodline by doing this. So what are things she could have done to overcome these negative thoughts? Let's find a way to be positive. Well, do you like to be high or do you like to escape? I think a lot of people who get high it starts with, because it feels good, because it feels different than what you're feeling. But eventually, you're getting high just to escape feeling your feelings. And that's what you could become addicted to, not feeling your feelings. I just picked up 430s for a band. I don't know what that means. Bro, answer the question. Would the kid you be proud of who you've grown up to be? Why or why not? Oh, that's an amazing question. That's an amazing question to ask yourself. I really like that question. As a grown-up, would you be proud, if you were a kid looking at yourself as a grown-up, would you be proud of the way you grew up? Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. I never thought in a million years I would be who I am today, but I went through so much shit. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm fucking awesome. I'm like so awesome. Honestly, I am such a good person. I have such a big heart. I am so proud of myself. Was it hard? Hell yeah. I've had four near death experiences, you guys. Been abused, I've been uh it's you know, and you know what's so funny is that it all feels like a dream in this new energy that I'm in. Like once I made the choice to like it almost became like I would say, well, I've been through worse. Like anything that would happen to me, it was like I just say, well, I've been through worse. It can't get any worse than almost dying four times, okay? When you have four near death experiences, anything is better than that, okay? It changes you. Oh, thank you so much. We're all near death, sweetie. Well, I'm talking about like actual events where I could have died. Like, honestly. Okay. Of course, the minute you wake up, you're almost dead, so you're closer to death. Where are your kids? They're upstairs. Heart chakra. Uh, it's all about the heart chakra, you guys. I'm activating the heart chakras, okay? Uh, Love is the heart of the matter. Your heart is the center within your physical being attuned most to love. It's safe for you to love and be loved with an open heart as we stand by with perfect protection and guidance. And Spirit said, standing behind you. Oh my God. I want to cry. Yeah. What could have prevented this whole thing from happening, or what can prevent it in the future, is to love everybody equally, you guys. Activate your heart chakras. You can't have children and then put all your eggs in a lover's basket. You have to be able to balance everyone. If you can't do that in a healthy way, then don't take on another lover. If you're not able to balance taking care of yourself and taking care of your kids, your responsibilities, your kids did not ask to be born. And so if you're going to take the time to have the children, then you need to take the time to take care of yourself and be in a place where you can actually provide emotional stability for your children before and yourself before you give all of yourself to another person. Because if you don't, your child's going to view that as a rejection, as an abandonment, as you choose your lover over me. And in doing that, your child is going to go out and search for validation from strangers, from people who don't have their best interests. And it's going to make them susceptible to intrusive thought, to negative thought, because they have the wound of rejection. So it's so important for all of us to be in a place where we are full before we have the children. The children aren't going to make you feel full. And once the children leave and the husband leaves or the wife leaves, you're still going to need to provide the fulfillment for yourself. And the only way you're going to do that is by activating your heart chakra, by understanding the ways in which you don't love yourself and the ways in which you do, and to transmute that energy. Love is the key, you guys. I know that sounds so corny, but it's true. Love is the key. It's the answer to everything. Love is the only emotion that is the true emotion that exists in the whole universe, okay? Through Creator. Creator is pure love, unconditional love, pure positive energy. And we are pure positive energy in a human body. And when we close ourselves off, when we add a lot of weight to ourselves, a lot of responsibility without really being healed, without really being ready first, it can absolutely take away from the people in our life. Okay, I gotta go. I hear my baby's upstairs.
Quiet now.
Oh my gosh. I gotta go upstairs, guys. I think my kids are fighting. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I understand now what happened. I hope we healed it. And I hope everyone who's going through this understands the balance. And I love you so much. And I'll see you next weekend. Bye.